Hey guys, we're doing something a little different today, and this mama gets a break with her mama. So Taylor's watching Jules for the day, and Mom and I get to go around and we get to experience 8 different gardens on our garden tour today. So the 180 group, which is a local counseling for domestic violence and abuse, is putting on this garden tour to where you buy these tickets and you can go around and experience other people's flower gardens, landscaping, vegetable gardens, all of the things. And it helps raise money for their group, which is really exciting, just to help them out. So I'm gonna go meet Mom. She's gonna drive us around to these 8 gardens, and I'm really excited because I was reading the pamphlet this morning and it's very different settings and beds that we get to experience today. So I was seeing that one of them was more shade, and on a hillside we get to experience a vegetable garden, and then a bunch of just beds around at home. Sounds like different styles and landscaping and I don't know, hardscapes if you want to call it that. So I'm really excited. Should be fun. And in the pamphlet, they described each one of their gardens. So I think as we walk around, I'll just film and I will read those descriptions. That way you guys can get an idea of what their beds and kind of their setting is like. And I think it'll be really easy and fun. So I hope you're inspired. The whole purpose of going on these garden tours is just to be inspired and see what other people are doing, seeing the different combinations that they're using in their spaces, and it's just really inspiring. So let's go. I'm gonna meet Mom and let's go be inspired. Mom and I decided to work east to west of the garden. So the first stop we made was Marlene and Mark Mullet's home. The Mullet's home is nestled among the Amish neighbors between Berlin and Wanna Creek. The area around the house has mostly shade gardens along with cottage-style rock and alpine gardens. Their yard flourishes with flower beds outlined with natural stones and filled with perennial shrubs and evergreens, along with native plants that grow naturally in the woods. Walk along their house to view the porcelainberry, Virginia creeper, and Boston ivy vines growing up on the fence. Raised beds near Marlene's greenhouse feature vegetables and cut flowers. Along the drive is an alpine green landscaped with large stones and sedums and rock crests. Next, we went to Angie and Tom's home, and just northwest of Berlin, the gardens at the Yoder's home have evolved through 16 years of plantings, transplantings, and simple plant removal. The yard has a variety of beds in full sun as well as deep shade. As you walk through, you will find flowering trees, shrubs, and perennials mixed together. Many of the perennials reseed themselves and come out in a variety of sites along the beds. While Angie enjoys working in the beds, Tom has created a garden in front of the house that is reminiscent of colonial gardens. You will find raised beds filled with herbs, salad vegetables, and a variety of tomatoes. A recent addition is a shade walk Tom and Angie formed, including a walking path through a small woods filled with ferns, hostas, heuchera, hellebore, and many other shade plants. Peeking through the plants, you will find plenty of gnomes hiding as they wait to be found. Our third stop, we stopped at Ruth and John Waltman's house, and their gardens were tucked behind a couple of condos. A visitor will find a perennial garden with a few annuals planted to entice hummingbirds and butterflies, a dozen milkweed plants, numerous nectar-producing flowering species, and some puddling areas make this a certified monarch butterfly garden. While you're at it, take some time to find a hidden fairy garden. One doesn't need a large area to find a beautiful garden. Our fourth stop was Summer and Jonathan Mast's home, and the Mast home and gardens are on a secluded hill just south of Millersburg with gardens surrounding the house. Visitors will enjoy water features including 2 fountains and a waterfall. Foundation stones line the upper area of the yard along with shrubs, flowers, hanging baskets, container gardens, and a teepee decorated with flower arrangements. Walk up onto the deck and into the screened porch full of succulents and houseplants. You may even want to meander through the barnyard and mingle with the miniature horses and pygmy goats. After Summer and Jonathan's home, we headed to Tammy and Mike Miller's home. Their gardens were on top of a hill outside of Kilbuck. The Millers enjoy a beautiful view and have created a delightful garden spot. There is a native foundation stone wall along the path leading to the back of the house. There are planter boxes filled with flowers, phlox, spiderwort, limelight, black elderberry lace, and a strawberry Sunday hydrangea, loose strife, and honeysuckle and hostas. There are a variety of pumpkins in the fall, and the Millers have a goldfish pond with a waterfall that they built themselves where the water lilies bloom. Be sure to check out the bog at the top of the fountain, created to eliminate algae from the pond. The fence and sheds were also built by Mr. Miller himself. After experiencing the hills of Kilbuck, we went to Eleanor and Bill Runyon's home, which is just off of 39. The Runyons' ornamental grasses, perennials, hydrangeas, and hostas are the plants most seen, if the deer haven't eaten them. Several varieties of the cone flowers, bee balm, and blooming shrubs are found in the flower garden along the yard. Hosta, fern, heuchera, and other shade plants are in beds along the woods. Sit under the tiki hut and rest for a bit if you have time. After the Runyons, we headed to Ellie and Hans Ramsayer's home. The Ramsayer's garden plots divided by natural foundation stones thrive with vegetables such as onions, asparagus, potatoes, corn, lettuce, spinach, and beets, as well as fruits such as strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. Herbs grow in another section such as garlic and oregano and rosemary. We ended our day with Kate and Dave Finley's home, which is a very restful garden situated on a hill where you can overlook the view of Millersburg. There are designated walking paths. You will be able to walk and note the native Ohio trees the Finleys have planted since building there 16 years ago. Mom and I ended the garden tour with having lunch in town. We were able to talk about each one of the gardens and what inspired us in each one of the spaces. I'm thankful the 180 put on the garden tour this year, and I hope that you guys found a little bit of inspiration through this garden tour as well.